And now, for a podcast that nobody asked for, please welcome the sister himself, Jake Doolittle.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 3 of Nobody Asked. Funny podcast title, I know. Super funny podcast title. Thank you very much for the support. We're at 1,000 subscribers. The last podcast did really well, so thank you for just coming along for the ride and, just checking it out. Checking out the channel, It means the world to me. I was expecting 100 subscribers and 50 views, and that's not what I have, and that's amazing. So thank you for that. Also just hit 69,000 subscribers. Now, I made a joke about this in my last video. People go, oh, 69. Ugh, come on. It's not funny. All right. What are we? 12? What are we? 12 69ing? God. Did you ever have kids in your grade who were like, yeah, I lost my virginity at 8, and it was all consensual and yeah, it was great. No way. You're bragging. There's no way that's true. Yeah, I actually have slept with at least 25 people before I hit 8th grade. What? What the fuck? And they're all, willing participants, and you're a willing participant, and excuse me? Those like early bloomers I used to be so jealous of. I used to be like, I mean, come on. I mean, you must be making it up. And then people would like confirm their story and be like, no, it's true. We actually had sex behind a dumpster. Behind the Chipotle. We got caught by a shift lead throwing out some avocados, but that's okay. And you go, what? I'm 21. What are you talking about? You're crazy. I think that's the most like sick kid thing. Like maybe it's just because I was a late bloomer. Maybe it's just because I was trying not to, continuously go in circles in my head about how and when I'm going to end my life. Maybe that's why I was a late bloomer, because I was more focused on, okay, do I stay alive to make the people in my family that I talk to happy? You know what I mean? And by family, I mean just my mom and like some grandparents. If you ever hear me reference family, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. I don't have a family. I'm letting you know. Well, now I do, but I didn't back then. Back then I was like, yeah, my family. And then go, oh, you mean like your mom and your dad and your grandparents and all your cousins? And I go, no. Most of them think that I'm faking an illness. But no, I mean like mostly my mom. And they go, oh, that's sad. And I go, well, sorry about it. But that's just what you get. It's actually my fault for being sick, I've realized. Chronic illness, 15 surgeries, just all these different things combined. I think like, okay, it's my fault. I used to think that. I used to think that it was my fault. And then I realized, no, most of the people that I'm around are just assholes. And that's a good feeling when you realize that, when you realize, oh my God, I'm right and everybody else is wrong. But there is some validity to that, where it's like, oh, but actually, I may be correct in this, and other people may just have some biases that don't make much sense. But it's fine. We deal. I'm not in therapy, so that's good. Just doing my part, I guess. Not in therapy, doing my part. Been making myself better. And it's working out because I have a podcast and that's all I need. I have a podcast and that's all I need. So that's good. What have I been up to this week? Well, when I got up from my desk, I hit my head on a light over there. So that's fun. I hit my head really hard on a light. So that's what I've been up to this week. Just kidding, just kidding. I've actually had some health issues that I guess I'll talk to you about. I mean, who cares? So I as you may know from the last episode, I ate gluten, right? And I had a really awful reaction to it. And within the last week, it's just been dragging on. My stomach's hurt, my body's hurt. And then I was thinking, oh, something else might be wrong because like my body continued to hurt. I'm like really tired all the time. And oh, it's almost fully gone now, but one of my nodes was swollen. One of my nodes in my neck was like swollen and I could push it around and I was like, oh God, this is awful. I actually made the mistake of trying to massage it because I thought that it was just like a knot from a tight neck, but it wasn't. And then I ended up inflaming it more. And then I ended up being able to look into a mirror and go, oh, it's actually right there. I see it in the mirror right now. It's not just internal anymore. I see it, which is always a good thing when something that you feel internally, you look in a mirror and you can see it externally. That's great. That's like when I look in a mirror and I go, oh my God, I am sad today. I look in the mirror and I go, oh, I've got sad eyes today. Not today, not right now, but sometimes we all just have sad days. Some more than others. That's my fact for the day. Sometimes we have sad days. Some more than others. That's my fact. So thank you for that. Yeah, but last night, 2 nights ago. Fuck, what day is it? 2 nights ago, I was feeling this thing in my neck and I was like, okay, that's like bad. And then I looked up swollen lymph nodes and then people were like, well, it could be cancer or lymphoma. And I was like, oh, okay, then I won't mess around with that. And I went to a quick care or an urgent care, which was great. And they tested me for COVID and the flu and RSV and a bunch of different things. And they all came back negative, which if you didn't know, that's not good. I would love to just have the flu, call it a day, drink some fluids, and then have this be over in a couple days. But it's not, and now I have to talk to my specialist about why I was getting the signs of a viral infection without having any other symptoms. It's good. Life's good. It's awesome. So I have an appointment scheduled for the 15th. Hey, doctors. 9 days from now? I want to be seen now. I don't feel good. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. I've been drinking coffee every morning and I think that's been a mistake because it hurts my stomach like crazy, but I feel like I need it because I think it gives me some kind of energy boost, but I don't know if it does. I also think coffee tastes bad. Some of it, most of it. It tastes gross. And like anybody who says that they like coffee is fucking lying. You can't like coffee. It tastes gross. It tastes like dirt. Literal dirt. And then you take like coffee grounds and it is dirt. Anything that comes out of the ground is dirt. Zucchini, watermelon, any vegetables is all dirt. But like, God. Sometimes, I mean, at least in Virginia, there aren't many Dunkins, but like in Maine, you would get a Dunkin' coffee and that shit would taste horrible. Like genuinely awful. Like it wasn't even able to be like covered up by like creamer or anything. it tasted like how I think radiation tastes. Like if I went into Chernobyl with my mouth open and went that's literally what Dunkin' coffee tastes like most of the time, except for like it's funny because you know how coffee shops have that promotion where it's like buy 10 coffees get one free and there's like a punch card. With Dunkin', it's buy 10 coffees and one will be decent. And they're so expensive. And they charge so much for almond milk and like anything to make it taste better. It's so good. I ordered a fucking Starbucks coffee in the city that I'm in right now, and it came out to be $7.70. And you ever order it and then they go, okay, that'll be $7.70, and you go, oh, and they've already written all this stuff on the cup, and you're like, fuck. Is there any chance you can... I'm allergic to dairy. Do I get a discount? Also, why are we allowing... Like, okay, this was a thing that I was thinking about. How great would it be if we were able to, like, have allergy cards and give them to restaurants, and then they wouldn't charge you more for something that you can't control? Like, because I do understand if, like, it's a preference. If you're like, oh, I want gluten-free this because I am doing it as a preference. Or I want almond milk or oat milk because I like the taste better. For people who don't have an option, like, how good would it be to not get charged so much? Like, I'm spending so much in groceries because I can't just get 5 frozen pizzas for like $5 a pop. Or like Little Caesars has $5 pizzas. I would do that in a heartbeat and be fed for a week for like $40, but I can't because a gluten-free pizza is like $20 to $25 from like a restaurant. Frozen, they're like $11. Gluten-free chicken tenders are so expensive. Everything's so expensive. And that's Biden's America. That's what I'm trying to say. Fuck Biden. Fuck those Dems. Just kidding. But also, I hate when people say that. When people are like, gas is up because of Biden. Shut the fuck up. You don't know anything. Biden caused the war in fucking Ukraine and Russia. That's still going on, by the way. Did you not know that? There's still a conflict in Ukraine and Russia. I'm sorry that your profile picture of a half blue, half yellow flag hasn't done anything. Patricia. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely so sorry that your Ukrainian flag that you stick up in your $1 million home's window hasn't done anything. Oh, well, it's just for awareness. Awareness of what? A war? Who's not aware? Well, I'm just spreading my support. Who's supporting Russia? What? Nobody's fucking supporting Russia in this situation. You're like, well, I'm putting up a Ukrainian flag in solidarity. What? You're not doing anything. You're literally not doing anything, Elizabeth. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it's nice to think about, but you're doing that for you. Are you not? You're doing that for you and to, like, come off as a good person, but in your real life, you're spanking your kids and, like, I don't know, choking your husband. Spanking your kids, choking your husband. Solidarity for Ukraine. 3 things in America, and they all go together. So, that's my new fun fact that I wanted to let you all know. Anyways, off to a great start. I have, I also, okay. And I don't want this is the only time that I'm going to reference anything like influencery, YouTubery on this podcast, this episode. Okay? I can't promise anything for the future or even the past because I forget what I was talking about in the episodes. But this is the only thing that I'm going to talk about that's influencery today. I bought a second phone. Hear me out. okay? It's a used iPhone 8, all right? It's literally like it's like just over $100, okay? I'm not out here spending $1,300 on an olive green iPhone 13 Pro Max, whatever the fuck, okay? I'm not. I'm buying a cheap phone because I want to. Why do you want to, Jake? Are you big timing us? No, I'm not. I'll tell you why I want to. I look at my phone. Oh, that's good. 27 notifications from various social media apps. Oh, this TikTok of yours got deleted. Great. Oh, here's a million YouTube comments saying that you're not as funny as you think you are. Sick. Oh my god, here's a Twitter notification of some stupid thing. Great. Awesome. Well, that's really that's good for me. Every time I look at my phone, there is, first of all, I like, and I hate when people say that this like isn't a thing. Every YouTuber looks at every other YouTuber's numbers all the time, without doubt. Because what else can you compare yourself to? Because if you compare yourself to your last video, which YouTube does, it makes you go crazy. They rank your videos, and I think I've probably said this a million times, but they rank your videos. My last video was 10 out of 10, or my 2 videos before was 10 out of 10. And I have numbers in my head where I'm like, if it doesn't hit this number after 24 hours, I feel like my career is tanking. And it did not hit that number. And I was like, well, what the fuck? And then my last video that I released has double the amount of views that my video previously has in the same amount of time. And I'm like, well, what's happening? What's the point of any of this? All of it is like it's all so confusing. And yes, I look at everybody else's numbers, and yeah, it makes me feel bad. So I got a second phone because I want to have a work phone and I want to have a personal phone, because I refresh my numbers, or at least I used to, because I deleted everything off this phone, including email and shit. It's so much. So what I'm going to do is I got this second phone, got a case, whatever. I'm going to carry it with me everywhere I go, and I'm going to set screen time limits. It doesn't have a cellular plan either. I'm not fucking big timing you, but it's I'll put a hotspot on here, check my emails, do all that stuff, see if I'm being canceled or not, and then I'll just turn off the hotspot, and then that's it. And then I'm done. And then the work is done, and then I just have fun things on this phone. I've got text, I've got things that if people need to contact me, they can. That's it. And then 4 hours from then I can check my email or whatever. Because I get so many fucking emails. And my life is so hard, is what I'm trying to say. My life is so hard. Like, I fucking hate when influencers complain. But in reality, I need to be able to separate work from my life. I can't be trying to spend time with Hannah and like growth memories and experience things in this new city that we're in while I'm refreshing a YouTube video and writing emails. Like, that's just not possible. And so that's what I'm going to do to combat that. And if it doesn't work, I'll return the phone and all that shit, and we'll see what happens. But I'm going to see if it works, because mentally I cannot deal with everything happening all at once. I want to be able to turn it off. Anyways, that's my story. Sorry about that. If you're watching this on YouTube, you may know it's a new day. My shirt's different. You know, my hair is still bad. In the middle of recording the podcast, I just had like a very strange flare up where I like spaced out for 4 minutes, didn't feel good. My lymph nodes were swelling, and then I ended up just laying down for the rest of the day. So this is me finishing the rest of the podcast because I have to. I'm legally obligated to. Just kidding. There are no sponsors on this. So I think I was going to get into some of my news stories that I thought were interesting or funny or fresh this past week. So here's the first one. J.K. Rowling's new book about a transphobe who faces wrath online raises eyebrows. Huh? Why? I wonder why that would raise eyebrows, J.K. First of all, awful name. J.K.? Your name's an acronym. People text your name. Are you kidding me? And is it Rowling or Rowling? Because who cares? Like, that's honestly my thought. Who cares? So, in this, it says, observers noted that the plot appears to mimic Rowling's own experience of taking heat and losing fans for expressing transphobic views in recent years. Rowling has said publicly that the book was not based on her own life, even though some of the events that take place in the story did in fact happen to her while she was writing it. Whew. Okay, good. So, okay. This would be like if Donald Trump wrote a book where it was like Slonald Slump was friends with Bleffrey Bepstein, and they both were attracted to biners, and then they were like, no, this is literally has nothing to do with real life. We're attracted to blinders. It's like a type of person in this like mythological world. And sorry, it's Bleffrey Blepstein and Slonald Slump. So it's not us. Can you leave us alone, please? Like, what? What's the character's name? Okay. Okay, Doling. Oh my god, no. It's not about me, J.K. Rowling. It's okay, Doling. And they literally say the exact same things that I do. Critics say the book is self-serving and beyond parody. Yeah, no shit. We've got some dueling hashtags. We've got I stand with J.K. Rowling and I can't stand J.K. Rowling. Who cares? Like, a hashtag's gonna do shit. I just don't understand this, because in what world are you going to get away with this? She's getting away with it. No, she's not. She's not. She's writing a bad book, hopefully. What if it's like the next Harry Potter series? Okay, Doling, and the transphobic comments. And she's like, yes, I'm actually going to make a movie out of this. I'm going to have Florence Pugh play OK Doling, and I'm going to cast who gives a fuck, right? Who cares? You know what I mean? How ballsy do you have to be like be accused of something and then write a book about it? It reminds me of when O.J. Simpson wrote the book called If I Did It. Oh, wow. The classic book, If I Did It. If I did it, here's how I do it. All right. I made a couple mistakes. I did not clean up some certain areas. Would have worn a different pair of gloves. God. If I Did It. If you don't know the story behind that, it's really fucking funny, because it's not funny. Murder isn't funny, but this situation is funny. One of the families in their civil suit designed the book cover or something along those lines where they could control something. And they made the if on I Did It very, very small. So that when you look at it from afar, it just says I Did It, O.J. Simpson. Now that could be a myth, and he could have just done that for more sales, but I would like to believe that it was the victim's family. Here's the next article. TikTokers are telling viewers to point their genitals at the sun to increase your vibrations. Experts warn against it, but perineum sunning keeps going viral. Darn it. I've been doing this all day, in public especially. I've been pointing my asshole at the sun, and maybe that's why I've been sick lately. I've seen a lot of these on TikTok, these perineum sunning videos, and they've gotten all these views. I was going to make a video on it, and then I was like, well, what more is there? Do I, like, at the end, do I try it? I'm in a city now. How do I try it without catching a couple cases? Are you kidding me? I do have a backyard, but, like, there's, like, high up buildings around me. And also, like, what would I be filming? I'd just be filming me with my legs in the sky? Because that's what they do. That's how they do it. They film themselves with their legs in the sky as if they're giving birth, but they're not. They're, like, sunning their asshole in their taint. What? That's fucking crazy. And, like, their mindset is like, well, if your face gets sun and vitamin D is good for you, then your cock, balls, vagina, taint, and also asshole need sunning because they're in the dark. Maybe, hear me out. Maybe there's a reason why we haven't been sunning those parts. Maybe there's a higher possibility of us getting skin cancer in those parts now. Do you think that our ancestors were perennial sunning or perineum sunning? I don't think so. You think that our forefathers were? You think George Washington, in between, like, hating minorities and chomping on wooden teeth, is like, listen here, let me do a little downward dog towards the sky. Oh, let me, George Washington is like, George Washington didn't own any clocks. He only, like, knew what time it was based on the sun and how it beamed on his ass. So this says here that this is good for natural energy. It supports bone health, lowers blood pressure, and promotes incredible mental health. Excuse me? I don't think so. I think this promotes a mental downfall. I think anybody doing this has lost their fucking mind. Sorry. Long says as long as he practices perineum sunning for 15 minutes a day, he feels good. Okay, good. Awesome. He told Insider, see how your body reacts and proceed with caution. This is not medical advice. Okay, my followers have been dropping, and I've seen a lot of in memoriam posts on their pages, but just remind you, this is not medical advice, nor am I a doctor. But I believe we will indeed start seeing studies about perennial sunning come out in the next 2 to 5 years, and they will show its benefits. He's also doing an animal-based diet, which he said prevents him from burning in the sun. So is, what? Sorry. Is the trend now just to, like, do things with no, backing or, like, proof, and then be like, in 2 to 5 years, this is going to mean something? It's not. It's not. You just eating animals? I don't know if that's the best for you. You know the people who are on, like, raw meat diets? You're going to die at 30. You're going to get a bad case of salmonella, and you're gone. Okay? That's insane. Cook your food. Okay? Cook out the bad things. Like, people do that. When's the last time you've gone to a restaurant that just serves raw meat? I mean, it's probably a thing. I know that there's, like, raw veggie bars, which honestly sounds so exciting. If anybody asked me to go out to eat with them at a raw veggie bar, I would block their number and throw the phone away and then change my number. Because that is a red flag. Okay? Also, for me to get full on raw veggies, are you kidding me? I'd eat their entire stock. I would eat 16 bell peppers, like apples, and still be hungry. Okay? What are you eating? These people who are like, yeah, I just had a salad for dinner. Now, I've had salads for dinner, but my salads are giant. I take like a whole bag of lettuce and I put it in and I put like Italian dressing on it and that's my dinner. But it's like a whole bag of lettuce. These people who are like eating pieces of lettuce one by one. Are you kidding me? No dressing? Are you joking? You guys ever had salad with salt and pepper on it and no dressing? This was the worst thing that's ever happened to me health-wise. I was doing a elimination diet to see what I was allergic to. Blah blah blah. Who gives a fucking shit? And I couldn't have most anything that was in salad dressings, like no olive oil, no garlic. I literally was only able to have meat, leafy green vegetables, and salt and pepper. And I had that for like a month. And I would have salads with salt and pepper on it. And I'm going to be honest, when you, opposed to just regular romaine with nothing on it, it's amazing. It's life-changing. And then like I was able to add garlic in, and I added garlic powder on my salad. I know it sounds gross. But like, you do what you got to do. And then like you would wash the lettuce, of course, because like people are trying to kill us. So you wash the lettuce and then it's still like a little wet. Like you dab it off and like it's still a little wet. And then like the salt and the pepper and the garlic get stuck on the leaves. And that's health. Jesus. What the fuck is wrong with me? Here's our next article. Landlord directs tenants to food banks following $1,000 rent hike. I love this. Listen. Yeah. I'm raising your rent. But there are food banks around. Okay. So you give me all your money and then you go to a food bank and get your food. That's it. Perfect. Oh my God, guys, don't worry. Literally don't worry. That's it. That's all I'm going to do is you go to a food bank, get, I don't know, some scraps from a local restaurant, dig through some dumpsters. And you know what? You still get to live as a tenant in my apartment. Great. Wait. Excuse me? It's $1,000 rent hike throughout the year. That headline sucks then. I mean, it's still true. But like, okay, I just read their rent was $2,750. And the rent hike was a 3% rent raise per month, which turned out to be something like $1,000 a year. If you're spending nearly $3,000 on rent, you don't have to go to a food bank. And that whole article sucks. Okay? The way that I do this podcast is I don't like read through things before I talk about them because I don't want to get them spoiled. Sometimes we get classic ideas or classic bits where I go, oh my God, that's so crazy. And then I read through, and then I go, oh my God, they're doing this too. And then we all laugh together and it's like, no way, that's crazy. They didn't even say that in the headline. And then I like freak out and I like convulse on the floor and then I go, podcast is over. So that's what that means. But like, that's so obnoxious. Are you kidding me? Why would you? Landlord directs tenants to food banks following $1,000 rent hike. BBC. God, you're obnoxious. Here's our next story. This is from Insider. A Southwest pilot threatened to turn the plane around and go home if passengers didn't stop airdropping nudes to each other. A Southwest airline pilot told passengers vacation is going to be ruined if they didn't stop airdropping nude images on the plane. Okay. Southwest Airlines pilot piloting a plane to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, threatened to turn the plane around if a passenger. What? So it's just one passenger who's airdropping nudes? That's annoying. All these fucking headlines suck. Media blows. In this, it says if passengers didn't stop airdropping nudes. And then in the article, it just says one creep was doing it. Anyways, I kind of, that's insane. Cyber flashing. Oh, just being sent unsolicited nudes. 53% of women ages 18 to 29 reported having been sent unsolicited obscene images. Jesus. A 2021 report found that 33% of women under 35 reported having been sexually harassed online in general, 3 times more often than men within the same age range. Yeah, no fucking shit, because it's men doing all of this. Are you kidding me? Are you joking? Hannah, and her roommate and I, this was a year or 2 ago, all went on Omegle together because her roommate was like, have you ever been on Omegle? I was like, no, I thought it was just all cocks. And she was like, no, sometimes you can meet fun people. No, you can't. If by fun people you mean a guy named Marcos jerking his cock, then that's fun. But like, that's literally all it was. Like, you hit a button and it's like, you're now connected with a stranger, and you go, okay. And it's just like a black screen. And then they take their hand away and then they show their hand around like the smallest penis. I mean, come on. Like, what are you doing? And it's like, fuck, shit. Or I love this. They show their face and they're like super nice to you. And they're like, hey, like, how's it going? I just wanted to just stop in. I wanted to make some friends, but like their shoulder is moving a little too much. And you go, ugh, really? David, really? Is that what we're going to do? He's like, yeah, I swear. I'm literally like, I'm having a great time. I'm meeting so many people. And, oh. Yeah, anyways, I'm going to go talk to someone else. What? Do they expect people to be like, oh, what was that? Why did he just stop? Why is his shoulder moving so much? He's getting more aggressive with it. Yeah, I think I just realized, like, I don't know, maybe Omegle isn't a good place for teenage girls to go on. Or anybody to go on in general, because I think all you get is disgusting people. I mean, I don't know. I was going to make a video on Omegle, because there's this guy who makes videos on Omegle just like making fun of people, but like not in like a funny way, but in a really, really mean way, where he's like, you have red hair, you're disgusting. And then he like goes in about them. So I wanted to make a video about him and why I side with him and agree with him. Just kidding, just kidding. I wanted to make a video with him and not with him. I wanted to make a video of him and sort of talk about his stuff. And then I would go on Omegle and try to talk to people and in a nice way to show that it's possible. Now I'm nervous because I feel like every time anybody goes on Omegle, they're put on a watch list. But also that's not true, because there's still like thousands of guys just jerking their gherkins. So like, I don't know. I guess it's all lost with me. I guess that I don't know. And like also like I went on Omegle before because probably like 5 years ago I wanted to make a video on Omegle, not on Omegle, like not the topic, but like of me like being like, hey, you look funny, and then like roasting people, because that's what was popular 5 years ago. And I did that, and then it was just like guys jerking off to me. And I was thinking, if you're jerking off to me, that's how you know you need to call it quits, Dad. Anyways, I'm sorry this was so abrupt. My microphone card is full, so I'm going to stop recording now and end this podcast episode because I was not well prepared enough today because I wasn't feeling so good. So anyways, if you like this, please subscribe, rate, and review, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye.